All right, welcome back to Back Society. I'm your co-host Jay with my other co-hosts. And of course, you know the other one.
And C Money.
C Money. All right. So we're pretty much at the half-year mark of 2024, and man, has it flown by. It feels like 2023 was like yesterday. Anyway, of course, we've had like goals, aspirations, just like harken back to like, you know, the episode 1 and 2 when we inspire each other, talk about our goals, projects we want to accomplish. Do we have any end of the year things we want to accomplish, guys?
Yeah, I want to grow this channel.
He wants to grow this channel. S is taking his hand in editing. I'm very proud of him. Round of applause, dude. I can't wait. I'm actually really excited to see what you come out with.
All right, but hold on. Here's the thing. I want to have at least 100 subscribers in the 6 months that I do this by the end of the year.
Okay.
Right? So
that's very doable.
Yeah, well, we've been at 50 something for like 2 years.
So what's your plan for taking control of this creative space that you want to do? Are you trying to just do clips, chop it up? Or are you trying to do like legit editing? Like, what are you trying to do here?
No, I just want to
expound on your goal.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just have the podcast, drop the podcast on a certain date. Typically, probably like 2 days, maybe after we record, but every day have a clip.
You want like a
have
teaser
a clip of it. Yeah, have a clip of it every single day, and then like drop a couple clips before we drop the main podcast. So you get people interested, and then drop the podcast, and then have more clips after that, and then we record, drop some more clips of that, and then drop the recording. Just that process. I feel like if you put something out there every day, because the channels that are growing are the channels that are putting something out there every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's you know what I mean? Like that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense too.
You know,
I feel like
it's a clickbait kind of society right now.
Yeah,
so
and
lean
I feel
into
like
it.
we get most of our subscribers off of clips.
It's very easy. It's very easy to get views on those shorts.
And I mean, like Chris is a good-looking stud over there. You know, his face is all over the clip.
Hey,
Jordan just
I'm
shaved,
the face. Look at this.
He did shave. Yeah,
looks amazing.
That 5 o'clock shadow. You know,
I'm kind of disappointed you got rid of your colored fingernails, but it's okay. We'll make way. We'll make do with it.
Dude, the dentist was like, "You got to take those off."
Are you serious?
Yeah, they don't want you to wear acrylics or nail polish.
Why?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just interested in like what's the reasoning behind that?
What is the reason?
I don't know. Just
you
a big
go to
no-no.
like a racist dentist? You went to a racist dentist.
My dentist was a minority. Okay.
Well, then he's a classicist.
He's a classist.
Or then he.
Wait.
I thought he was a really good dentist.
What kind of minority?
He was Asian.
That's not really a minority.
It's still a minority.
They're the superior minority.
They are
the superior minority. Either way, he was a really good dentist. It was a good time. I had 7 teeth pulled. I was able to start talking again just a few days ago. It was very nice.
You could tell your face is still swollen.
It's just a little, I mean, I can still feel it. Yeah,
it's not that bad.
He's calling my face fat. That's what he's doing. He thinks
it's
so funny.
I'm trying to stand up.
I'll have you know, I also have a dietitian and a chiropractor on the payroll. So it's getting better, dude.
Oh, okay.
It's getting better.
Back society.
It's getting better. The chiropractor's great. My back feels amazing, but the dietitian is still a work in progress. But what was I gonna say? Got the 7 teeth pulled. Being knocked out, best decision ever, dude. It was great.
Yeah.
Dude, I just remember them hooking me up to the IV bag. I looked at the IV bag, and next thing I know, I woke up and I'm like, "Oh, it's over."
Weak,
dude. It was.
I've
great.
probably had a dozen teeth pulled over my lifetime, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
Not one time have I been awake.
Really,
it's the best thing ever.
Dude, it was just so easy.
You count backwards, like 3, 2, boom. Next thing you know, you're waking up. You're like, "What the fuck happened?"
It was great. I woke up and they put me in a wheelchair, and I was like, yeah. I'm just like looking at like my girlfriend, and I got like blood just coming down. I'm just like,
So one time I didn't get knocked out. I just did the laughing gas. So you're like kind of semi-conscious.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a trip. because they're kind of talking to you and they're trying to like stimulate you, and you're and you're like spouting nonsense. You know what I mean? But you think you're being like articulate,
Mhm.
and
You
and
think
the
you're
next thing you
citing
know,
poetry?
yeah, you hear like bzz, bzz, and you feel like some like vibration, but that's about it. And then you're like, all right, you're done. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Good.
But it's wild. But I'll tell you what, being like knocked out, that's the way to go, man.
Dude, it was
I
great.
Just
got
go
four,
under.
I got 4 teeth pulled, my wisdom teeth, and I was not knocked out.
What did they give you? Just Novocaine?
No, they gave you like these.
No, he
giant
did it. He
needles.
cold turkeyed that shit. Raw
Nah,
dogged it.
They gave you these giant needles and they numbed your gums.
Yeah, that's
There's
it's called
Novocaine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Then they came in and just took it out.
So mine were impacted like really bad.
Mhm.
Two
Yeah.
of mine. So they're like, you want to go under because like we're gonna have to cut into your bone.
Yep.
I was like,
Oh,
put me under, baby.
Yeah, that
Put
was
me
my
under.
back molars.
Situation, yeah.
That was my back molars. There was no way I was going to be
Mhm.
conscious for that. Absolutely no way.
Did they
Okay,
say anything?
you cutting bone.
They said like mine was like on a nerve or something where like if they pull it, like it could be numb for like ever.
Mhm.
Whoa, no, I've
yeah,
never
they-
had that.
No, oh well.
I couldn't do it. Like right now, like I feel my gums presence, and I hate that. It's
Yeah,
such
I
a
know.
It's such a stupid
Yeah.
feeling, you know.
And then when you eat food, it kind of gets stuck
Mhm.
in there.
And I've had the
Yeah.
worst like pizza craving too. So it's like,
Oh yeah, you don't want to get them dry sockets and shit, dude.
That's why I refrained from smoking for
Mm.
like 5 days. I refrained from
Good.
anything
You should
straws.
refrain from it for the rest of your life.
I tried really hard, but then
Oh,
bullshit kind of happened at the 0 hour. So I kind of got
Oh.
very stressed out. It sucked.
What do you get stressed
Mm.
out about?
Dude, the dental care was $7,000.
So
Okay,
It stressed me out.
put that on a credit card, bro.
I did, but that's $7,000
points.
I'm not putting in the stock market.
That's 7,000 points you got there, buddy.
I mean,
What
I
are you
put it,
talking about?
dude. I put it on my Quicksilver cashback. I got $100 back. Woo! But still, that's still $7,000.
and that's
No,
stressed
that's
you out?
$6,900.
Big difference. It was gone. Okay.
But
There was also
yeah.
something else. I forget what it was.
But you know what though? Regardless, like if you're gonna smoke or not, you still have to face that 7,000. So you might as well just not smoke.
Yeah, but I can also like figure out a plan.
You could do that without
Easier.
smoking.
I have decided that if I'm at the point where I have to worry about something for less than 10 grand, I'm not in a good point in my life.
I just don't like losing $1. That's my thing. It's
You're
not that
losing $1. You're
it's-
investing in your health. What are you talking about? It's like
it's
when
still
you're
a
doing-
lot. Like it doesn't matter. I could be a millionaire. It's 7K. It's still 7K. I could have used for something else.
if
I
you're a
could have
millionaire,
used
you're
to
not worried about
appreciate.
7K, dude.
Huh?
No, that's not true.
No, that's just how my mind works, dude.
If you got fuck you money, nobody's worried about 7 grand.
I mean, you should see some of the shit I buy as a fuck you that I can absolutely afford. But like 7K is still
That's what I'm
7K.
saying.
It's
7K is
just-
a lot, but it's not.
Look, if it was like
It's something to
incremental,
stress out
it'd be
about.
fine. But it all at once sucks. It always sucks.
Hold on.
Just slide the card, baby.
Again, I put it on my Quicksilver cashback. What's in my
Then
wallet?
what are we complaining about here?
It's
But
still 7 grand. I have to pay it. It's not free money, dude.
Hold
What
on,
is this?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to find a healthier way to relieve stress?
Ooh, good question.
You know what? If people can
not.
just leave me alone for like a week, then
Bro, you
it'd be
work
over.
remotely.
So I get pinged all the time. I get alerts, dude. I'm on call.
I work with thousands of people a day.
Well, that's different for you. I mean, like the problem is when you work from home, no one's really keeping you accountable. When you're at work, you can't smoke
No,
on the
you are
floor.
accountable. You're
You
accountable.
can't smoke on the floor. It makes it a little easier, don't you think?
Oh my God, Jordan, you got to take accountability, take responsibility, invest in yourself, man.
I
Have
just
some
did. I just
self-respect,
invested
bro.
in myself. I got rid of my teeth.
Clip it.
Ugh.
All right. Going back on topic. C, tell me about your end of the year goals.
All right. So first of all, I just want to say your intro was a little misleading. We're way past the halfway mark of the year.
Yes.
We're entering the 8th month of the year. So, there's only 12 months.
Well, halfway through the year is July 1st.
I would say it's June 30th.
Third. We're about to hit the third mark.
Okay.
We're in
Well, you
the
said
third.
we're almost halfway.
Okay.
So I'm just
End of the year goals. Let's go.
All right, so now that we're settled ish,
Mm.
I got a couple things. App. I want to put out a good app.
Mhm.
That's a big thing. I want to. It's like that, and kind of get back into like coding. I got to restart my degree, my master's, and kind of get into video editing a little bit, like S over there. You know what I mean? Like I want to be more proficient. Not, I don't want to be amazing, but I want to be able to like sit down, like, hey, I got an idea.
Mhm.
And like kind of bang it out. So
It's pretty
that's
much
kind of
what I
where I'm
do.
at.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What about you,
But
Jay?
I think my app is number one, if I had to say.
Tell us a
There you
little
go.
bit about your app.
All right. So, for our one big property we have for with 6 units, I'm thinking about selling it.
Mhm.
Just because like being halfway across the world, managing that stuff, it's a little bit more of a headache.
Mhm.
Because it's just kind of a bigger thing. So we're like talking about selling, like, man, like I'm like posting it, like, hey, got this property, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, hey, send me the information. So I'm like, I don't have a good packaged thing. It's like, a lot of times it was like, hey, let me see your property. You send them like a Zillow link or something like that, right? But then it's public at that point.
Right.
And it's saying, hey, this is for sale. And people might get a wrong impression. I've noticed in the investor community, they want something off market that's like kind of what's the word I'm looking for here?
Exclusive?
Exclusive?
Yeah, exclusive is a good word, but like, kind of like one of those like, oh dude, I found this cool deal. Like
Yeah.
you would never find it. You're not in those you don't run in those
Yeah.
circles. So I came up with this idea for like an app where it's like, okay, one, you can utilize it to manage your portfolio, right? Like, so like you open the app and it's like property 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You click on whatever one you want. It's got photos that you've taken most recently. And then it's got like a little blurb, like, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, duplex in a great area, blah, 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 blah. And then it's got like more drop down menus where it's like, okay, purchase history, pricing history, sales history, whatever you want to call it, current tenants, current rent roll, current
I like that.
recent capital expenditures, or however you want to, like, you can customize what you put in there, right?
You could
Mhm.
change your late game with that.
Yeah, and then so that's your private view. And then what you can do is you can have a public view where it's like almost like I kind of called it like your business card, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like, hey, I'm interested. And like, hey, click this link. And if they got the app, it opens in the app. If not, then it opens on the website, whatever. And it's just like whatever you want them to see. It could just be literally um pictures, sales price. Or it could be pictures, sales price, current rent roll, pictures, sales price, previous sales history, whatever. You know what I mean? You can kind of customize it to whatever they're asking for. And then what my idea is, you transfer it to the new buyer.
Okay.
And then whatever you had in there from a sales perspective, especially like sales price, they can't edit that. Because unless there's like a mutual agreement to edit it, but that way there's some continuity, but also some like truth to it, right? Like
Right.
some gravitas. So and then you can kind of build it up, right? And it's either a shareable link or however you want to do it, QR code. I don't give a fuck how you do it,
Mhm.
but like it's something where it's like, hey, DM me, here's the link, and it's like it's private. You know what I mean? So like, say like, hey man, do you have pics and a rent roll? And you be like, okay, share pics, rent roll. You like just check the box, and it generates that for them.
Hmm.
But maybe they want a little bit more information. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's like, hey, I want pics, P&L, rent roll, sales history, and then you'd be like, okay, click, 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 boom, push it on. So that's kind of my idea, right? And it's very simple. It's kind of like a Craigslisty Zillow combo where it's nothing flashy. It's not searchable. It's only shareable.
Right.
That's the thing. But then you can also manage like, oh, so and so owes me money. They're behind on rent. Where you can actually input real data, but it's also just like simplified to view.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I like it.
that's my idea.
I could see it going for like the more exclusive markets, like especially like higher end deals. I could see it being used for people who want to know who the future neighbors would be. Um, Let's say that much. But like you have a pretty clear exit strategy considering, there's big companies like Redfin or Zillow and something. So obviously, like if it gets big enough, you could also sell it to them for a pretty good
Yeah.
couple mil.
You could, yeah, because I think there's a commercial aspect to it too, right? Maybe you're just
commercial.
a realtor and you just want to like, hey, here's the card, and it's got just the basic information you want on it, right? Because you can completely customize the information that's being shown to the customer and what you see, right?
Right.
Like we can maybe you're like, okay, what are you? Are you an investor? Are you a real estate agent? Right. And then maybe some subtopics will come up. You're like, okay, yep, I do want sales history. I want, you know, number of beds, whatever. And, and then you can customize it to whatever you want that sub information to be. And then yeah, it's just easily shareable. Like, hey, what are you looking for? Click this link,
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for something quick, easy? Fine. Here's a pick and a basic blurb, and you get nothing else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of keep it as simple as you want, or as in depth as you want.
Mm.
You can kind of tailor it to your customer. That's my idea.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But I also think it's all about the UI. The UI is important because it's got to be easy to use. And there's no questions, right? Like it's like share. What do you want to share? You just click the check boxes because you already have it kind of built out. You have the skeleton. Be like, like price, blah, 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 blah. And then you click share. It either generates a link or a QR code, and you just push that to whoever you want.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty good.
And I feel like it's probably not too difficult to kind of build.
No, it doesn't sound too difficult. Probably the shareability will be probably the more difficult portion of it.
That's the hardest part, right? Because you're gonna need unique addresses, right, for each share,
right,
at the end of the day. But like a basic hash on whatever you want it to be, it's not too difficult. I feel like
you also need to track it and possibly be able to revoke it as well.
That's the other thing, right? I was thinking about that. Like you like kill it, right? Like sold. Now nobody's links work for that property, right? And also, I think the transfer from one user to another.
Yeah, that would be a little bit
where there's that integrity of the data, where it hasn't been altered right before it's been sold.
Right.
But also, if you have a good base of users, again, I think we've talked about this before. You got a bunch of nerds, like they're gonna take it seriously, and it's just gonna be your kind of oddballs here and there that are trying to like kind of jerk everybody around and fudge the system, I guess.
Well, yes, you're always going to get those types.
You're going to get those guys.
You're always
you're going to get those, those grifters.
I mean, it's always there. That's a good segue because shareability has been something I've been sort of fleshing out for grandstands because I have been still working on that. It's been tough. I wanted a workable MVP by the time September rolls around. So about a month or so. But there's a like QR codes that I want to implement. It's not too difficult. Shareability, because I want people to invite runners, followers too, not be able to be searchable really. There's a privacy aspect of it because you are like, apt to someone's phone technically. So I've been working on that still. It's been pretty busy and slow going for the month of July, but I still want to get that at least an MVP by September rolls around. So that is still a big thing I want. I don't know if you're on GitHub yet. At least that repo. I'll have to resend it.
You know what? You're gonna have to resend it because I got to log in. Again, part of my goals here is to restart my master's degree, and my GitHub is tied to my .edu email. So that's why I haven't checked it lately.
That makes
and every
sense.
time I check it, I'm like 1 day late. It's like 1 day late. But this expires in 7 days. Day 8, I'm fucked.
But the good thing is when it comes to like those kind of components, they can be shared between the apps. So it's not like you can start at ground zero for either of them.
No, that's true. That's true.
So in the end, if you want, they can work together at least in a component level. So at least reusability is happening. But that's a good segue into one of my goals. That's my goal for September. I also want 1,000 followers between my between channels. So,
Okay.
so Back Society, I'm restarting the Haunting podcast again because I looked at my statistics for the Haunting podcast, and it's been a while since I made an upload. And between YouTube and Podbean and stuff, every episode has hundreds and hundreds of views. Hundreds. And the retention is amazing, like 50% retention rate.
Oh wow.
What do you think the reason is?
Horrors. People
Girls.
really like horrors. Probably like millennial women. Probably. That's a good market. I don't have enough statistics on that. I think I do in Apple, but I have yet to check it. But yeah, hundreds of views between them, downloads. I backlogged one of the episodes yesterday, and on YouTube in about 2 hours it got 100 views.
Oh wow.
So that was really good.
Do you think have you noticed anything different with either how your thumbnail is versus, you know what I mean? Like all those like little things that people like obsess
Shittier than
over?
what we do. The thumbnails
Just
are very
what?
shittier.
Do you think it's the niche? Do you
I think it's the niche
category?
I think it's the niche, but you know how like the YouTube, like everything is run off an algorithm, right?
Yeah.
And one of the big things about getting your content out there is priming the algorithm to push your content to the right audience. I think it just so happens that this was pushed to the right audience.
Do you think the algorithm is more towards like entertainment side or like clown side or
I
like
don't think it has a bias.
I don't think it really has a bias, but I would say there's probably a more diverse audience for entertainment because that can gravitate to anybody, really. But when it comes to like horror stories, I don't know. It's just I feel like horror fans are just a very more, how should I say it, ravenous bunch. You know, they'll consume anything,
No, I agree.
and they're less picky.
agree.
I would say because like the format's been like ghost stories, so you know people are less
Yeah.
picky when it comes to like stories. But so
So I've never seen any of those videos, but like what's the format? Like how are you doing it?
Well, it's not recorded. So the format is I use an app called Headliner, and they can turn your podcast into like a graphic, basically. Like you've seen those like those audiograms. So it's
Yeah.
basically just that, but people sit and listen to it, even though it's, you know, it's not the most like engaging graphic, you know. But yeah, people seem to like it. So I've been backlogging a few episodes, and I'm recording a few episodes tonight. So I'm gonna see.
So wait. Let me get this right. So you just like type it out and it just like creates it? Like I don't understand.
Well, the Headliner app, you basically just upload the audio or upload the RSS feed, and it will just pop out an audiogram that you can download and then upload to YouTube.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, I was just confused when you said a recording, but then you said it's not recorded. So you're saying you don't record yourself. You just talk it out, and then you upload it to this app. It creates this visual aspect to it, and then you upload that.
Yeah, when I said, oh, sorry, it's not video recorded. That's what I meant.
Okay. It's just an audio recording.
Yeah,
Of
so
you speaking through it.
yeah, so it made an audiogram of the podcast because we don't have a video.
Do you do you write it out beforehand, or how do you do it?
Yeah, it's scripted. We gather the stories, or like the primary format is picking a place, like let's say St. Augustine, Florida, for instance, and then finding 4 haunted stories or haunted places, you know, and pretty much just script that out. Like, oh, why is it haunted? What do you encounter if you ever go here? Like, yeah, just a random place, and then we make it into a podcast. It's usually about 20-30 minutes long, and yeah, people seem to like it.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, 1, it's short. 2, it's kind of, I feel like scary stories will always be in vogue in a weird way.
It's evergreen.
You know what I mean?
It's evergreen.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, I've never seen one, so I was just curious of like what it looked like.
Mhm.
And do you like the Headliner app? Does it work pretty well?
It works pretty well. Yeah, it works pretty. You can customize whatever you want, but the fact it gets me is just like it's just so automatic. That's why I like it.
Headliner app. All right.
Yeah, so I can probably backlog a few of our Back Society episodes and upload them to YouTube because there's a few that we have that are unrecorded. I mean, not unrecorded, video recorded.
Gotcha.
Since I got
that'd be cool. I'm interested.
I'm interested too.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the link after the after the episode. Anyway, so I have that. I also have a newest channel, which is the Vitanen channel, which I think about rebranding to Normie World.
To what world?
Normie World.
Normie.
Normie
Normie
World.
World.
Something relatable because we're all generally normies. Basically, just like every day or every other day, I just find like a funny fucking article and just, comment on it basically. Something simple. Something simple, engaging in current events. But I've been trying to move away from politics. But I was thinking of doing like Normie World and doing some politics in it, but just being as neutral as possible. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It's a work in
I've
progress.
thought about the news thing before because like I'm super interested in like current events, whether or not it's political or not.
Right.
But it's like I don't know a good format for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Is it quick bites with some pictures and like kind of seeming like an old school like the only thing that pops in my head is like Tosh.0 where he's just standing there talking. There's a little like, or like a Daily Show where like you got the like image and you're just kind of commenting on it. Or is it like purely audio with like some kind of clip or just like montage in front of you?
Well, the current
Like,
format.
what do you think?
Well, the current format I have right now is basically just me, like basically how you see me right now. I give an opener, but I also give a closer. But in the middle, it's me on the side, and then it's the article itself, and I go through like excerpts and give my opinion about it, or just a reaction about it. But that's the current format right now.
How many of those can you record at one time?
The videos usually go between 4 to 8 minutes, so as many as you can fit in an hour.
But are you like just like recording like, all right, I'm gonna do this, and then you in editing you're just like, okay, I'll pop, then I'm sure the editing's the hardest part, right?
Yeah, that's the more time consuming.
Yeah.
It takes about an hour
per episode.
Yeah,
like per 4 to 8
video.
minutes, 1 hour.
Yeah. Editing takes a long time.
But like it's not a difficult format, and I feel like I can expand on the format. Let's say if I wanted to bring someone in for their opinion or something, someone to talk about, for anything current event wise, and maybe move into a fucking like news storm format. Who knows?
Yeah, that's something that's always interested me and intrigued me for a long time, is the news side of things. Because I feel like everybody wants to get their opinion out there, but like people mix the opinions with news and thinking their opinion is news.
Yeah.
And not just like, hey, here's what's going on and here's how it could impact things.
Yeah.
With no, because everybody's got a bias.
Yeah, neutral
Even
bias.
all your everybody, like even like all your independent journalists, they lean one way or the other.
Yeah.
There's nobody really giving like, all right, here's the news. Here's what it could mean, and on the national stage or something like the international stage, whatever you want, right? Without it, even the best, most neutral people seem to like, there's always like a slight bent to it, and you can kind of pick it out because if you're like listening to them a lot, and they're always like right down the middle, like they could do this, and then they say something, you're like, oh, I know who you're talking about. You know what I mean? They might like lean one way or the other. It's very hard to find something really down the center.
So that's if I want to do like politics, I want it to be as neutral as possible. But like right now, like one of the last videos I did was the US not bringing home, not qualifying for shooting. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, how the fuck did we not qualify for Olympic shooting?
Yeah. No, I get that. Right?
So I try to be like, I try to be funny about it.
I'm saying even non-political stuff, you'll get people who kind of like bend one way or the other. They might make an offhanded comment. I was just saying, when I listen to some things, I'm like, oh, this person's a straight shooter. They're kind of funny, but then they'll say something, you're like, oh, wait.
But then, like, how would you get your source?
That's the hard part. That was actually what I was thinking of. Like, how do you find a good source? Is it really just AP and Reuters?
My source would be just varied. Like, I'm not going to discount a right-wing source or a left-wing source, but I will make sure it's not like the scales ain't tipping, I'm not going to do like complete left-wing, complete right-wing. I want it to be a mix of both. And of course, like, AP and Reuters as well, but I just don't want one to show up more than the other.
I think the real issue is when you run into like sourcing. Sourcing is a huge issue, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think if you take one news story, let's say recently, the missile strike in Israel, right?
Right.
It happened. Like all you need to do is like find out, okay, what is the event that happened in any of these news sources, and disregard all the other bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what happened, how many people were affected, and then move on. Because anything else, like potential outcomes, like so and so doing this, this, and this, and this, it's all commentary.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not news. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I think if you can identify doesn't matter who the source is, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC,
There's a common denominator.
there's always going to be this happened, this is who was affected,
Yeah.
and that's all you really need to know.
It's true.
You know, I think you could easily dig out, some other things,
Mhm.
or maybe even the who done it kind of stuff. But even then, a lot of that can be speculative.
Right.
I
mean, I feel like it would fit with the rebrand. Normie World. Normie News.
Normie News.
I think it's
For
perfect.
you normies.
And my last goal for the year is I want to finish my second book. That's the last.
Oh, there you go.
That's the last.
That's not bad. That's
last book in the series. I got like 30 books plotted out, so getting to the second one's a big.
30's a lot.
It's a vast world. It's a very vast world.
I do want to start my Wikipedia.
You should.
I don't even know where to start though.
Do you have a server?
I do.
You can probably download.
I have a NAS that's sitting over there.
Yeah,
that's unplugged and not connected to anything.
So. Well, if you have a NAS, it probably has its own operating system, or do you just do bare bones Linux?
No, it does.
Okay,
no. It's got its own thing. It's a Synchrony, I think, is what it is.
Oh, a Synology.
Synology, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I got. If you got Synology, that's perfect. You can just install. They have like if you are on their app store, you can just download a Wikia.
Oh, okay, yeah. I never looked for that. All it has on it is MB. Right
MB.
Now, so
yeah, on their app store they have a media wiki that you can just install and you can have it.
Fuck. All right, I got to get this thing up and going then.
Because that's what I did. I just played around with a wiki, but I've made wikis before. So,
dude, let me tell you. Can I just tell you something real quick about setting things up?
Mm-hmm.
I plugged in my really nice laser printer right here. Did not put on a transformer and it exploded.
No,
the voltage out here is higher. Yeah,
it exploded. No, dude. So it's toast, huh?
It completely fucking burnt.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah. So in the States it's like 110, 120 voltage, right? Out here it's 220 to 240.
That's
most things are dual rated.
Huge.
Most things, everything here, dual rated. Computer monitors, it doesn't matter. Cell phones. But there are some things you need to plug into a transformer to step the voltage down.
That's why I would have never thought about it.
I didn't think about it either. And I plugged that bitch in and it went, poof, it popped. And all of a sudden smoke started coming out of it. And I was like, oh fuck.
Man, that sucks, dude. That sucks.
Yeah,
I would have never thought about it, dude. But yeah, if you can get your Synology up and running, you can download Wikia. And the cool thing about Synology is that you can make it private or public. It's my favorite NAS, and I've had many.
Yeah. I like Synology. Yeah, thank you, Synology.
I know. That's the cool thing about writing too, man. It's endless. I can't wait to get my second. I'm so excited to get my second book up. Like it's this one I've been working.
Are you actually publishing them, or how are you doing it?
I want to get at least 4 done before I start publishing it, just so it makes a little more sense. Because a lot of things are connected and it feeds into other things. And like how it is right now is just there's like 2 eras, right? And my books are split between them. So there's the modern era and then there's the ancient era, basically just in layman terms. So basically they both feed into each other, but like the ancient era is kind of seen as like mythology in the modern era, but like the ancient era, it's ancient. The modern era hasn't happened now. Like interesting enough, the book I'm writing right now, the main character is the mother of Ronan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Throwback,
dude. Throwback.
No, that's actually a unique approach, because like you could be like, hey, this is what they, you can say modern era, this is what they believe, and this is what become myth. But then like you can jump back and be like, but this is what really happened.
Yeah.
And why they now believe that. That's kind of cool.
Well, like I wanted to write my degree is in history. So I wanted to pretty much write like in a historical way, like just how this shows how how the world has moved on. Some facts have become fiction, some myth has been turned into legend and stuff like that. What people believe, and like how civilizations from the ancient era and modern era has diverged and everything. I think it's really cool. I think, like I said, I have about like the timeline itself is about 1,000 pages long right now.
Jeez.
So a lot of it's very.
I think you should have
plotted out.
Scott do the audiobook.
Do the
Thank you.
audiobook. No, man, because as soon as there's a lot of our characters from like our childhood are in it. Of
Yeah.
course, they're not like really the same anymore. But
Sure.
as soon as I know as one of Scott's character comes in, he's gonna be like, okay, so in the audiobook, fuck everyone else. I just want to do his.
He's like, oh, and then he became a
He
badass.
became a badass.
And he's the best in the world.
Like I tried my best to like do justice
Beautiful.
to everyone's like namesake character. Like at least Scott's character
Cool.
is an emperor, so I'm sure he likes that.
That's lame, dude.
Well, he's an emperor. How can you hate that?
I'm an emperor. Come on, man. What are you, a Ronin? What's a
He's-
Ronin to an emperor?
Hey, whoa. First of all,
Ronan is the weirdest character in the entire fucking story. He is the strangest because he exists, but at the same time he doesn't exist. It's very strange.
boom. It's very cool, actually, from what I heard.
Like
yeah,
a
so you should change your channel to Emperor Scott.
Emperor Scott, there you go.
Ooh. I'm more of a king, you know.
You're more of I'd rather be an emperor than a king because you're the king of kings.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I didn't realize you were subservient to anybody.
Yeah, dude. Are you I mean, I'm the emperor. You'd be subservient to me.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were such a bitch, dude.
no, there's like a mutual understanding.
No,
like,
there's
I'd let
not.
you.
That's
Yeah,
not
no,
how
I'll
it-
let
that's
you.
not how
Not really much of a difference in
Nah.
rule.
Nah, I'll let you be the emperor only because you know you'll leave me alone. But if you cross me, then I would have to come and take your throne.
Well, as an emperor, I have a bunch of nations under my control, so you'd
don't
be
care.
standing alone, dude. The world would be crashing down on you.
Hold on, no, with who's gonna fight for you? All I have
The
to-
nation's under my control.
I have to talk to your nations. Be like, are you?
You're gonna talk
let
to my
this
nation. You're gonna
guy-
start a rebellion in my empire.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
that's when
who's
you
gonna-
find yourself dead, dude.
Who is going to fight for this emperor that feeds you just a slice of bread a day?
I give them milk and honey.
Oh, you give them. Well, I give them land, cows. I give them everything.
You give them land and cows. You mean my
What?
land and my cows, technically.
Then they're gonna be my land. I'll go.
But
to
they're
war.
not. They're my land.
Trust me, man. Trust me.
I don't think you know how an empire works, man.
Yeah, I do know how.
You can't give
empires
them
work.
things you don't own. You are ruling at my leisure.
Okay. I no, but I can sell them a dream.
You can
And
sell
that
them.
dream. Yep. And I will sell them a dream to get you off that throne.
Dude, basically, I love this because basically in the book, your character is America. I want you to know your empire is modeled after America.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You have a bunch of other nations under your control. You're a conqueror. You're one of the big things is your military industrial complex and how you guys fucking feed weapons and food to fuck up the lesser lands autonomy. You feed rebellions and conquests.
You kind of sound like the bad guy, to be honest. You sound like the antagonist a little bit.
He is the bad guy. He's one of the antagonists.
I could be a villain.
You
He's a
are the
bitch.
villain. Halfway
Yeah.
through the book I was I finished writing is part of a 3-book series. In the third book, you're fighting a war, and the
you,
good guys are fighting you.
Oh well, they'll come to the dark side. They'll fall.
They don't go into the dark side. You do capture them.
I can give you all the women.
Give you
that you
all the
want.
women. You do offer them money and power. You do that.
Just come to the dark side.
But like I like it in the first book because it's hinted that there's like this empire out there that's just because people are just like, oh, this war that you're seeing all the way over here, it's being fed by that empire. And everyone's just like, who? I've never even seen them before. And they're like, that's how they operate.
In the shadows.
Yeah. You'll like it. You'll like it. You'll like it.
Stop it. You're making him think he's like Thrawn or somebody, dude. You're not cool enough.
I'm cooler. What are you talking about? Cooler
Nah,
than
dude.
Thrawn.
You're cool. No one's cooler than
On
Thrawn,
the edge of the
dude.
galaxy.
No one's cooler than Thrawn. I know his Empire of the Hand over here.
God.
Either
Man,
way, it's
yeah.
cool. I like to think I did some justice. Ronan's, of course, again, going back, Ronan's the weirdest one, but he is kind of the chosen one.
That's right, baby.
Oh,
Recognize.
because he's a Sigma.
He's
He's
not
a
really a
Sigma.
Sigma. I mean, like he
Hey, he's
loses. He's huh?
That's not a Sigma.
He's
A
not
Sigma
alone,
is
dude.
alone.
It's a first of all, a Sigma is a modern interpretation. Okay, when this character was created, that didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Right.
Didn't exist.
No, he started the Sigma.
He's definitely how he's written in his personality is definitely not Sigma. It's definitely not Sigma, dude. He's basically having an existential crisis through most of the book.
Oh.
Which he should be.
He should be
always
because he finds
question
out
who
he's
you
not a
are,
real person. I mean, I don't know how you're going to like really get over that.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
suffering causes growth.
I mean, he does
Well-
lose a number of times before he wins, so you got to appreciate it.
Failed to success till he comes across me and my empire
He does come across you.
and gets smashed like a bug.
No, that does not happen.
Then you got to rewrite the book.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, that does not happen. All right. So those are our end of the year goals. Awesome.
I like it.
I like it too. I feel like we're getting things done. One day we're going to be the next. We're going to be the Elon 3. We're going to be the Elon Musk 3 one day. It's going to be awesome.
I would gladly take a third of his fortune. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with that.
I'll be fine too, dude. I'll be like,
I'll take 1/100th.
I'd be like, yeah, I own that tower in New York. You know, what of it?
Yeah, whatever. Go
Yeah,
fuck
whatever.
yourself.
I just walk in there, my penthouse, all the way at the top. You know.
Got to buy it from the Chinese first.
Okay.
Honestly, I want my penthouse in the middle, so everybody has to pass through it.
Everyone has to. Do you want your name on it too?
Yeah.
I want.
Like
I want
it doesn't say like floor number whatever, it just says my name as they pass through it.
This floor number
my
no longer.
penthouse is my penthouse is on the second floor, second and fifth floor.
Second to flip. There's the fourth. There's the first floor, second floor. There's the Chris floor. There's the fourth floor.
Yeah. And then obviously the top floor.
You ever
Which I have
seen?
no private elevator.
You ever seen that TV show Lucifer? How he has his penthouse? It's
Oh,
like a club.
That's that Marvel show, right?
No, it's like
I don't watch TV. It's like a WB show or something.
Then it's definitely Marvel.
Long time ago, but like he has like a nightclub,
I would
Right.
love to have a nightclub. Hell yeah,
and
dude.
then above there is his penthouse. Like
Fuck yeah, dude. That
Yeah.
me for real. Me for real.
yeah,
Casino.
Casino.
Boom.
you know?
I would have.
I wanna own a casino.
I know you've been saying that for a while.
Why don't you go and buy Hard Rock? Be their GM like Chris suggested.
All I want to do though is just
Just
smoke
talk.
a cigar and just blow it in people's faces.
I would
Yeah,
not put
space.
you at ahead of my customer service.
Dude, what about what I said, man? Start your own poker room and grow it.
I tried that, but there's so many regulations here in Illinois to do
You didn't
that.
try it. You just pretended.
He Googled it.
No,
That's
no,
enough research for the
no.
day.
Well, okay, I didn't try it, but I looked into it. There's a lot of like obstacles. Extremes amount of obstacles.
You're gonna let a few obstacles like hold you down.
Dude, I know.
Yeah, like the Illinois Gaming Board, that's a mafia that wants like 51%.
What if did Warren Buffett keep obstacles in his way? Did JP Morgan? Did Rockefeller?
No,
Did Andrew Carnegie?
First of all, JP Morgan and Rockefeller.
They made the obstacles for everyone else.
Exactly.
I got a question for you. What state has the loosest gambling regulations?
I want to say Vegas.
No, outside of Vegas. No, I don't think Vegas has loose regulations. I think they're very controlled.
I think
You think
compared
Jersey,
to other-
maybe?
No, compared to others. Or it would be like a new up and coming state that just legalized it that has
If I had to guess, I would say California.
Why not?
The only reason I said this is because when I lived over there was poker rooms everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe.
everywhere.
And they're like aren't they like a democratic state?
They're a
Yeah,
they're a blue stronghold.
hardcore.
Hard.
But like only like certain parts. The majority of if you look at it like on a map, it looks very red.
Yeah.
Outside of like
the
San
blue
Francisco,
the blue parts are the
LA.
coastline, where people
Yeah.
actually live.
But not San Diego, because San Diego is
I
very,
never realized that. You're
very
right
red.
about that.
What?
They're on the coastline.
Yeah, because that's where all major cities usually are.
Because that's where no hard work is done.
If you look historically, it's always cities always came from coastlines because trade.
So can we talk about politics?
Oh, all right. You want to move into this?
All right. We could talk about politics. JD Vance, yeah or nay?
Everybody says that guy's so weird.
He is kind of weird.
He is weird.
I don't know anything about it. I just saw the headline.
Not a fan.
He's weird.
He's a grifter.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, hardcore.
Millennial
he was a huge never Trumper, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Wait, I'm in the Senate." Yeah,
Trump. He also said he hated cops.
No.
Yeah, he said he hated cops. Yeah.
Also, his most recent thing about like married people and childless people is getting. He's reaching hard, dude.
He's reaching.
All right. My new theory is some people are so ingrained into what's happening on like Twitter that they don't actually understand what's happening in the real world.
Yeah.
Bro, that's what I've been trying to tell people.
That's how I think he got picked as a VP, because it wasn't really Trump's decision. It was his kids. And they're ingrained. Like Don Jr. and Eric, they live on Twitter.
They live on Twitter.
Can he not pick his son to be a VP? Is that like illegal?
He shouldn't.
It's a really
his sons
bad
are fucking losers. Dude, his sons are fucking terrible.
He knows that, right? He's got to know that.
I don't think it's not just he knows that, but like you can't beat the king fucking allegations if you pick your son as your VP,
I
it's
think
just it would be a very weird precedent.
So I think like even though like Trump got shot, I know he's like, isn't he trying to get the JFK dude on board, RFK on board?
RFK.
RFK.
Yeah.
So no, that was like a rumor where like they're like, oh, RFK's dropping out to endorse Trump because they had that phone call.
Yeah.
And that was recorded. Yeah.
He's trying
to.
He's trying to get. I think he wants RFK because he knows RFK damages him more than the Democrats.
Well, RFK at this point is basically he's a tool between both the Kamala camp now and the Trump camp, because like he has the potential of siphoning away votes. Trump at first liked him because RFK was a blue dog. He is the legacy to the Kennedys, and so he would siphon away blue votes. But then he started doing the whole like anti-vaxxing thing. He started to appeal a little more to the libertarian side of the right wing side, and so that's when Trump started to up his attacks. But now it seems to be swinging a little bit more, since he's kind of softened his stances a little bit, to more siphoning off blue votes. So Trump wants him on side. It really depends on.
No. I think you're close. I think you're wrong though in that last part. I don't think it's the fact that he's softening and siphoning away from the blue side. I think it's Trump is being like, hey, you're going to fucking crush me. I need you to endorse me to bring your voters to me because you're costing me too much money. I think you're right everywhere up until that last part.
Well, I mean, like Trump seems particularly, like, this is just an opinion. He seems particularly more desperate this cycle. Like he's been really saying and showing up to like the weirdest things. Like he showed up to the Libertarian Convention.
The Bitcoin thing.
Like it's been weird in my opinion. Like the Libertarian thing was just kind of funny because he said he will pardon the fucking Silk Road dude. Like that is just antithetical to the Republican fucking mantra.
That's the thing. Is like they're literally just scrolling through fucking
Twitter.
Reddit and Twitter and just being like, you should support this. You should support this. But it also shows he has no principle or ideology, right? He's literally there just to whatever people want, I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But then that's how he campaigns. But when he governs, it's a different story, right?
How does he govern?
Reagan Republican.
He's very Republican, very traditional. And the thing is, it's not even him; it's just the people he puts in place.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
What about who won the Democratic primary?
It was Biden,
There was no primary.
basically.
They canceled the primaries. No, there was none.
They did. Then how did
Yeah.
then how did Kamala get elected? Or
She's
not. Actually, I'm
She's
going.
not.
The convention's here in Chicago, dude. You should come and see
yeah,
it.
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So,
I might
so
go.
all she has is the delegates have pledged to vote for her.
Yeah.
Well, who's running against her
Anybody.
in the Democratic?
Anyone who decides to. So we'll see.
Whoever. Yeah, we'll see.
That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. The big talk right now isn't
It's going to be fucking anticlimactic,
Yeah.
dude. They're just going to fucking whisk her through. Because here's the thing. I was about to say this. Sorry to cut you off, Jordan. They've actually seen a bump because they've actually done a good job, like promoting
her
her
abnormally like on point.
Yeah,
That's why it's kind of fishy, right?
I mean, not really when you have the whole backing of the DNC and their bank, you know.
well, but here's the thing: is that she didn't have it at first. Something happened
Something happened, right?
behind the scenes where they're like, get in line or get the fuck out.
Yeah, it was the Obama endorsement.
Yeah, and the thing was, they were saying Obama was he's not typically a fan of her.
Mhm.
So what happened? Were they saying, "Hey, we can't show division within the party. We got to rally," or was there something else? I don't know.
I think at the end of the day, it was Obama who got on the phone because he kind of controls the Democrat Party.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, they were saying he originally was not going to support her.
Well, yeah,
he wanted to support an open primary, but I think they said, like, all right, they did the calculus. Does an open primary hurt us more or help us? And I think they came to the conclusion it hurts us.
Yep.
So we're going to rally.
Yep.
And once Obama did the endorsement, everybody else was like, all right.
Would you consider her being an unelected official?
Well, if she wins the general, then technically she isn't.
Wait, you talking about right now or in the future?
Just like right now.
Well, I mean, she doesn't really have an office outside of VP, which she did win.
Well, she didn't really win anything, right?
But she won. She was on the ticket.
Because I mean, like, nobody really voted for her to be in the spot that she's in.
Well, she's vice president.
Well, no. Here's the thing: it's different, right? Because like she was already selected to be the VP.
Mm.
Like, yeah, when you vote for the president, you only vote for the president and whoever the VP is. It's not like the old days where, like, literally the first couple elections, whoever came in second was the vice president.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now there is a ticket, even though it just says Joe Biden. Kamala is the VP, right?
Right.
Like they changed how that works. So you could technically say she is elected because nobody's, pulling something over somebody's eyes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're not like, oh, Joe Biden won, and he's like, all right, and this bitch is my VP, and they're like, what? No.
Yeah, and like VPs can tank a campaign. Look at like McCain and Palin.
But I mean, like, if they have a closed primary, right?
Primary is different though, but like primaries don't matter because that's a party thing. That's not a general election thing.
Yeah, I mean,
because every state holds primaries differently. Yeah. Some are open, some are closed.
I mean, like, look at like even though the Republicans had a primary, I mean, like Trump was very uncooperative with it, but he still won it anyway.
Do you think anybody in the Democrats are gonna run against her, though?
No.
I think it's over.
It's over.
I think Obama made the decision. He said we're going with Kamala.
That's why why no one's really talking about the what's going to happen at DNC. They're talking about who's going to be her VP.
But don't you think that's kind of like,
I mean, we all wanted Biden to drop out. I don't know why everyone's like mad about it now. It's just kind of weird to me.
To me, I feel like it's like an appointed type of thing. Like she was like appointed to it. You know what I mean? Nobody voted for her.
I mean,
yeah, but nobody voted for anybody else either because they didn't have a primary, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one voted for Marianne Williamson or Cornell.
Don't you think that's a problem?
I mean, in the end, the parties are a private organization, and the primary is completely under their purview. You might not like it, but it is true. They set that precedent in 2016.
But I mean, like, it's not about being a Democrat or a Republican. It's just like the it's just like democracy, or
No,
you
it has
know.
nothing to do
It's
with
not. I mean,
democracy.
the primary is actually a pretty new thing too. You know.
No, but I mean, like, nobody voted for Kamala Harris, though.
I mean, we're going to have to in the
Who
general.
cares?
You know,
What does
she's
that have to
not
do with
president.
anything? I don't understand what you're getting at.
What I'm
This
saying,
is the latest script that's been coming out. If you go onto any like Twitter influencer, they're always just the script is
don't
Kamala
have
is unelected. I know, but this is the latest talking point.
But what does that have to do with anything? Most candidates running for president are unelected. It doesn't matter. She's not the president. She's running for president.
she's running for president, but like, she has like, I feel like I feel like if there's any like, well, I don't know.
I just can't.
I don't know.
My opinion is
Yeah,
people
because
wanted.
it's not a defensible position saying she's unelected.
My thing
Dude,
is
she's not even technically nominated.
Yeah,
She's just running for president now because Biden dropped out. She's in the best position to take the nomination. If the delegates want to rally around her, that's fine, man. Like people who vote for the delegates to vote for the president nominee.
yeah.
That's up to the party itself, which is a private organization. So like they know the rules when they go into it, or they should. And like this is the, what happens with
Yeah.
the symptom of the having a private party like that.
Yep.
Like this is the outcome.
My thing is just like a lot of people, like almost everybody wanted Biden to drop out. Like, are we surprised this is what happens next?
No,
Yeah,
not
I mean,
really.
Everybody saw this coming. Like I
Yeah,
don't
everybody
understand.
saw
Like
it
of
coming.
course
Yeah.
Kamala was
Yeah, what's
next
going
on
on?
the,
Yeah.
on the list.
Yeah, but it's
It's
just
a
so,
talking point I've been seeing a lot. Just like, she's unelected, no one voted for her. They subverted the will of the people in the primary, and it's just like, I mean, technically in the primary, if you did vote for Biden, you're voting for the ticket too because he already has an established VP. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, you can make the argument that like you have an old ass fucking president who has a younger female vice president, and because he could probably die,
Yeah,
you understand that she could
yeah.
ascend to the presidency, right?
and this was a
I
big thing
think
in
that's a weak argument
2020
that people,
of who.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was because he was supposed to be a one-term president and groom his VP to be his successor. That was
That's
the plan.
actually what he said.
Yeah,
He actually kind of admitted to that.
that was the plan.
What do he call himself? Like a bridge?
Yeah, a bridge president.
or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
That was the plan. But yeah, so the big thing isn't if Kamala is going to be the nominee. She will. The big thing is who's going to be her VP. That's what people are wondering. Like, is it going to be fucking Gavin Newsom? Is it going to be Bashir in Kentucky? Is it going to be J.B. Pritzker of Illinois? Or is it going to be like Pete Buttigieg or some other freaking loser?
Pete Booty Juice.
Pete Buttigieg, whatever. The Secretary
It's
of
probably going to
Transportation.
be who's the guy from Pennsylvania?
Oh, Shapiro. Yeah, maybe.
Shapiro.
I know he's a
think
front
it's him.
runner.
Yeah.
I know him, and I know he's and so is the senator from Arizona, the astronaut. As I recall.
Kelly.
Kelly.
Mark Kelly.
Hold on, let me.
He's
let
not
me
going anywhere
understand
because
this.
they need to keep the Senate.
Yep.
They can't afford that.
Totally agree. They can lose.
So,
They probably will pick Shapiro because it is a battleground.
so you're saying the
Yeah.
people vote for the delegates in that party, and they pick the nominee?
Mm-hmm. It's almost like an electoral college kind of thing.
How do you? When do you vote for the delegates?
At the primary.
At the primary? And since
When
there's no
you're vote in a
primary-
primary, when you vote for the states, you're voting for that number of delegates to go to a specific nominee.
Okay. So, but that
And-
didn't happen this
I mean,
time.
But here's the
it's
thing,
going to
every
the ticket.
state. Yeah, and here's the thing: every state has a different setup for how delegates are given out to each candidate,
Right.
because it's a state-run thing. But they suspended a lot of those conventions.
Yep.
Because
Why?
they're like, we already have the president.
Yeah.
Why do we need to find another nominee? Why would we vote for that when he's the incumbent? Because traditionally, the incumbent wins.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Traditional.
You know what I mean?
By a
but-
very, very large margin.
But if we back up 5 minutes ago, you said like he literally said he's trying to bridge the gap, right?
That was the
what he
original
said
plan. Yeah.
When he was running for president, he would be a bridge president or whatever.
From our understanding in 2020, he was supposed to be a one-term guy, and his VP pick was supposed to take the reins eventually. Like, none of this
So if
was
that
shocking.
was everybody's understanding.
That was everyone's understanding.
Okay, and then it was
At least
like
on the
different
Democrat
when
side.
he came out and said he was running for a second term, and so
That's when
suspended
shit got weird. To be honest,
Yeah.
when he was running for a second term, that's when shit got weird.
And then once they put him out in public, and everybody was like, "Oh snap!"
And it corrected itself. It corrected itself, baby. That's how I see it.
I mean, he ran into the problem that he was running against, which is he's old as fuck. And he's declining rapidly because like the office of the presidency puts a lot of fucking stress on your body.
Oh,
It ages the shit out of you.
It ages you. So if you're already pushing 80,
Yeah,
bro, that man's like 100 years old mentally. I mean, you saw what it did to like Bush and Obama.
Obama, yeah.
Like fucking Obama is probably the starkest,
Yeah.
8-year transition.
Went in with like 0 gray hairs, came out with so much.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like the fact that he's like, oh, guy, like it's like,
listen.
Do you think Harris could handle that stress?
I think she's gonna win, so she has to. I think she's gonna win.
I don't know if she's gonna win. I think Trump might still win. I think if Harris won, we're probably looking at a very what's the word I'm looking for here? Indecisive point in American history. I don't think she's going to be good at making decisions. She's going to toe the line to figure out which is more popular. You know what I mean? She might be the most populist because she's going to be like, how do I win the most support? Instead of because I don't think she's an ideologue.
She's definitely.
I think she's kind of
she's very malleable. Like she's hard to really pin down what she believes. It's very difficult.
She believes in what she needs to believe in to win.
Yeah, she used to be like on the more Bernie Sanders side,
Here's my thing.
So I mean, her rhetoric back then was distinctly on the Bernie side of the Democrat
and
Party.
Then she also jailed the most people for like minor drug charges,
weed offenses. Yeah.
Here's my thing.
It's ridiculous.
Right? Here's my thing. Obviously, she has a chance of winning if Trump is trying to get RFK on his side. Obviously, I think he sees her as a threat. You know what I mean?
The poll numbers indicate that he is a threat. That she is a threat.
Way more than Joe Biden. But all those, everything that I've seen on Harris is like it just screams like puppet to me.
It's funny.
Like, tell me what to say. You tell me what to say. You tell me what to do, and I'll stand on camera and do it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that one bit.
Like that just screams to me. But if you have that, then it's like, who's really calling the shots? Who's really making the decisions? I don't think it would be her.
So here's the thing. Legally, it has to be her. Right? Theoretically, legally, it has to be her calling shots. Whether or not she delegates that authority to somebody else is a different question, depending on what it is that she's delegating. But here's what I think is going to happen. As we approach the general, I think what you're going to see, I'm calling it now, RFK Jr. not explicitly, but implicitly supports Kamala Harris.
Really?
Trump.
Really?
He is. If you listen to his rhetoric, he's very anti-Trump.
Okay.
He does not like Trump one bit. It has nothing to do with anything. He's anti-establishment, but he also really hates Trump. Yeah. And I think he's not going to support Kamala, but he's going to leave the door open to his supporters. Yeah, indirectly be like, okay. He's like, it's either Trump or not Trump.
It's going to be interesting.
He's going to vote for.
It's an interesting time to be alive, man. What a month. What a month it has been for politics.
Dude, what about 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
I know. It's been crazy.
Only because it's
also, JD Vance, what a terrible fucking VP
terrible. If Trump knew, he never would have picked him. If he could go back, if Trump could go back in time like 2 weeks ago, it would have been Burgum probably.
Either why? Also Rubio. How is Rubio not up there?
Do you think? I think he only got him because of his age. He's like, oh, he's more relatable to the younger generation.
JD Vance.
Yeah, but
No, JD Vance was more of a
dumb white dudes on a fucking stage.
You said what? What'd you say,
Who?
Chris?
I said he's just a dumb white dude on a stage, dude. Like,
and we already
Yeah,
have, and
but-
you already have one. That's why when everyone's just like, who's going to be Kamala's VP pick, everyone's just like, okay, it's going to be the
I think
whitest
they
fucking guy you know.
yeah, it is.
It's
It
gonna
will
be the-
100% will
Yeah.
be. But here's the thing.
That's why I'm
You
hoping
have
it's
a guy
Bashir.
who they're like, oh, he grew up in Appalachia. He grew up from the poor, but he was also educated at like Yale. You know what I mean? Like
He's a
been
Teal. He's
outspoken.
a Peter Thiel like ghoul.
Yeah, and
Venture
I don't even,
capitalist.
dislike I don't dislike Peter Thiel. Like at least he's like been very consistent in his message. JD Vance has shifted wildly over the last couple of years ever since he made the Senate and he gained any popularity. And I think they thought like he was relatable and he had a good story, but then they like put him in front of a microphone like, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not ready for this." Which is why I thought either Burgum or Rubio made more sense. One, Rubio could support and bring in Latino voters who have been wildly swinging towards Republican and conservative voters. Like he could have made a huge shift. Florida is technically in play. It's red, but it's not deep red.
Yeah.
It is leaning purple. You know what I mean?
I think it's going to go red by at least 5 points.
I think it's a move. I think it's a move just to get to younger voters. Like, hey,
But he's not. But he doesn't. He doesn't appeal.
He doesn't appeal to young voters.
No,
he has no young
No.
voter appeal.
If anything, Rubio, even Burgum, appeals more to younger voters because they're both a little more centrist and a little less hardline Christian, right?
Mm.
Like Rubio floats the
but
religion thing a
Rubio's
little
what,
bit.
like 50?
He's like in his late 40s.
I just don't think he's a very likable guy.
I don't think he's.
He's very
likable guy.
robotic.
He's very robotic.
Yeah.
He's what did Trump call him? Little Rubio?
Yeah, little
you know
Marco.
what,
Little
though?
Marco. Little
Hey,
Marco.
he does push. He
Well-
does push for the UFO thing, though.
Marco Rubio.
So
was
does
the guy
Ted
who
Cruz,
said
but
that,
I don't want him in office.
Yeah, Ted Cruz is fucking grifter, dude. But was it Marco Rubio, the one who said that Donald Trump has little hands?
Yeah,
Like I'm pretty sure it was him.
that was funny.
He was like, you know what else that means? Little hands. And he's like, big hands. I got the biggest hands.
Rubio is just the status quo talking Pete, but with an R next to his name, dude. He's no different from like any standard senator. To be honest,
I'm not saying he's any different, but
No,
I don't think he's as controversial as like JD Vance, who makes the swing in his rhetoric is so he has such a short time period where it seems so
well, it's not only that, but he's also he's the senator from Ohio, which is going to go red. So it's just like you're not really helping yourself, but they also
not always though. I mean, it's a purple state.
it's going to go red. Like it doesn't really at the end of the day help. But it was supposed to be like, oh, he was going to help bring Trump like Michigan, Minnesota, the Midwest basically. And it was just like no one likes Ohio.
My thing is like the Biden campaign.
So extreme.
My thing is the Biden campaign is just so like intent on beating Trump. Like,
Yeah, because that's the winning message. That and Roe v. Wade.
but here's the thing though, like
It won in
I feel like
2020.
the focus needs to change. Like, why are you so focused on beating Trump when you should be fixing everything else? Like,
because you don't have to fix anything. It's the perfect message. You just beat a guy and then you're done.
You want to get back to the Twitter kind of.
That's the thing, dude. If it's
focus?
the easiest message possible, they're going to pick it.
Yeah. I mean, like, let's be real. Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing.
Oh god, I hate
Some
that,
people have
dude.
short-circuited or they're grifters and they lean into it fucking hard.
Yeah. There is a
And if you're live on Twitter, you see it and you're like, this is the message. This is winning support and followers. So they kind of have leaned into, hey, this isn't a pro-Biden, this is an anti-Trump thing.
Yeah, it's been
I think they think that's what's going to win, and I think they're miscalculating a little bit. But you did see them kind of shift, right? He got harder on the border. He got harder on a lot of different things because he started saying like, oh, it's not just an anti-Trump thing. It really is an issues-based campaign. You just got to have the better message.
Well, the
but also
prevailing
you gotta
message
be
is
as
basically Roe v. Wade.
flamboyant.
That's what's probably going to push them over the top is the whole Roe v. Wade thing.
Yeah, but Roe v. Wade is like that's a Supreme Court issue.
I know,
Yeah.
but that's the message.
I don't think you win on Roe v. Wade.
It won them in it pretty much lessened the red wave in 2020.
But then Biden had 4 years to overturn that or change that, right?
Decodify it, yeah.
You're
How
never
come he
going to
didn't?
codify that because there's never been a law because it was just a precedent.
Mm.
That's not, I don't think it's as I don't think it's as
Like I'm just saying, like
controversial
that's a huge message. That's what brought out a lot of people in 2022.
Yeah, because it was also very fresh.
Mm.
It's not that fresh anymore.
It's still there. I mean, there's stories coming out all the time feeding the machine going like, oh, look at this this kid that had to go to term because of she was in a red state and shit like that. It's still a very good message. And not to mention the Democrats, the average Democrat voter has lost all trust in the Supreme Court. And they even the White House came out with a fact sheet earlier today about changing up, term limits, possibly expansion of the Supreme Court. Stuff like that.
But hold on, does Joe Biden have the authority to overturn it?
Overturn what?
No,
he doesn't. But he has the
No?
authority to expand the Supreme Court and add
no,
people
he does
who
not. No, he does not.
No.
It's a
presidents have
co-branch-
expanded the Supreme
No, they
Court
have not.
before.
They have had to pass laws in Congress.
So it's whoever appoints the judges on the Supreme Court.
No,
And-
it is a co-equal branch of government.
Right.
There has to be a law. So the what 2 or 3 times that it's expanded, it was
Yeah.
passed through the Congress and signed by the president. 2-1, 2 against 1. The president cannot just appoint more justices or say would have done that in the past. There
Right.
has to be a law actually passed in order to do that.
So how do you reverse Roe v. Wade? Right? You have to get
No, you don't reverse it. You just pass a law.
you just pass a law.
Because here's the thing with Roe v. Wade was a court decision.
Right.
That's all
But-
it was.
So
There was no
can Joe-
law.
Can Joe Biden pass a law for it?
No, Congress
No?
can pass the law. The president doesn't pass laws. The president can issue executive orders.
Right. Can he do that though?
No,
Put in executive order? No. So but they can write up a law and pass it through Congress, right?
yeah, totally.
So then how come they haven't done that?
Because there's no impetus or there's no. They know one, it won't pass,
It won't.
and 2, it's one of those weird. I don't know.
It's a
It's one of
touchy
those weird
subject.
things. It's touchy because now
Yeah.
you start infringing on people's it kind of think about when Obamacare passed and all those churches sued saying, oh, we have to give contraception, and they're like, well, it's against our religion to use contraception, and they won those kind of court cases.
Yeah.
It becomes very much that's why they've tried to push it down to the states, and then yeah, it's a tough issue.
It's a
I
tough
think,
issue, but it
politically.
is a galvanizing message, whether you want to believe it.
But
or
I think I just here's the thing is I think people on either side, you're entrenched one way or the other. I don't think it's not moving any independence.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's the thing is yeah, I think last time it was there might have been a little bit of a lessening of the red wave, but if anything, it just drew out people to vote who had already made a decision.
I think the whole
I just don't think it's wise to count it out.
But the president's never done anything about it. No
Yeah.
president has ever done anything about
It
it.
doesn't mean you can't campaign on it.
I'm not saying they're not, but they're not going to do anything about it. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, I could already tell you, as soon as you have a D next to your name, I know they're not going to do anything about it. I mean, it fucking happened under their watch.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be the message then. Right?
It is going to be a part of the message.
It's going to be a huge part of the message.
To think if
Most
Roe
people
v.
are
Wade
dumb.
isn't going to be on the ballot and campaigned as such, you're fooling yourself.
I just don't think it's a winning message this year. I mean, it's not fresh enough to be a winning message. That's my opinion.
I think hold on. I think this election is just going to be because you have Trump with his occultal personality. He has his following, and then you have Harris, who me personally, I just feel like they were just like, you know what? She's the only thing that we got.
I mean, she's not. I mean, we have some pretty. The D's have some pretty good governors.
But the whole private delegate, whatever you guys just explained to me, is behind her.
Yeah, because she's Veep, and she was also endorsed by Joe Biden and everyone else.
It doesn't even matter if she's like VP. Is she the best fit? How come people don't look for the best fit to do the job? Like,
Well,
what?
now you're getting into the political party system.
Yeah. That's exactly. It's not.
That's
it's not
that's the actual real issue is the
It is.
parties, right?
yeah.
Is we only have two choices,
That's the
and it's
problem.
whoever the party says is the choice.
Yeah, that's the problem. This is the problem, and this is why our I don't know if well, to me, I feel like everything is just so messed up. Like the political
you know,
system.
I'm just gonna put it out there right now. As somebody who's officially 35 years old, you can vote for me for president. So
There you go.
I'm
Hold
voting
on.
for myself.
He'll come in
Can I
and
be-
fix everything.
Can I be your VP?
No, you're not old enough.
How old do you have to be VP?
35. You gotta be able to meet. No.
No, we're looking to the future. We're looking at 2028 over here.
All right, let's look at 2028. Okay,
Let's look into the future.
all we can do, I can do the same thing Kamala Harris says too. You just feed me lines, and I will say it in front of the camera.
Yeah, but what
You
if
have
something
to
happens
be-
to Chris?
January 20th, when you are sworn in, you have to be 35.
And I will be not 35, but on the 28th.
In 2028, he will. We gotta start small, grassroots, man. We need a winning campaign
We'll
message.
replace you. We'll replace whoever on the ticket.
You know, we'll be good. I'll be good. I'll be good.
I'm totally voting for myself for president this year. I'm excited.
I think
One vote right here. Boom.
we can. I have an occultive personality. I can do that.
You can do
I
it.
can do exactly what. Yeah, of course. I have
You can
this
do
thing
it.
called charisma.
Once you show up to the DNC this year, man, start rubbing some elbows.
No, that's weird.
Why is that weird? No one's gonna vote for you if they don't know who you are.
Because nobody wants their elbows rubbed.
Yeah. I don't want to
It's a
rub my
colloquial
elbows against
term.
crusty elbows.
You got to be like, yo, man, I'm a big Kamala supporter. I should campaign.
I'm
general's
joining
coming
the rent is too damn high party.
Yes, rent is too damn high. That dude was
That could
great,
be-
dude. I wish he won in New York. That dude was great. Dude, maybe I should. I was thinking about joining the Pritzker campaign. Come on, man, join with
Ew.
me. I
Ew.
like JB. It's about time we had a fucking round guy
How can
in the
you-
White
here's
House
the thing.
again.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Let's
How
get
can
another
you-
white rich guy in the White House.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
let's
dude.
do it, baby.
JB Pritzker,
Who
baby.
comes from a rich? It doesn't come
Fuck
from like
yeah.
a super rich family.
Hotels, baby. Hotels.
Yeah. No, I'm out.
No, it's fine. It's gonna be great, dude. It's gonna be a good time, which means free rooms. Come on, let's go.
From the most corrupt state in the union.
You can never,
You know what? From the most corrupt state, but he's definitely one of the less corrupt governors we've had.
But he's fat.
Surprisingly. Oh, did you? Yeah, I know. He got into a beef with the Maryland governor last week over hot
'Cause
dogs.
he's fat
Yeah.
over hot dogs?
The Maryland governor was just like, Maryland does hot dogs best. And so, Illinois had to put out a statement.
How can you follow a fat leader?
I mean, people follow Trump.
How can you guys follow a fat leader?
What's wrong? What's wrong with JB? It's just that's all you have is that he's fat?
Well, I mean, like, if you don't respect your body, I mean, like, how can anybody respect you, bro?
Dude, because he's respecting the nation. He's respecting the nation too much to respect himself. He's busy,
You better make time.
He's making time
He's
To
got
run
to
the
invest
nation.
in his body.
to run the nation, dude.
That was the same with Chris Christie or whatever. Like, bro,
I still say the
how can
funniest
anybody take
fucking
it
tweet
serious?
Trump ever did was a picture of Chris Christie at the buffet going like, oh, he's probably eating his feelings away.
Yeah, how can anybody take it serious, dude?
Dude, Chris Christie just sucks, okay? JB's not really like him. They don't share the same politics.
But he's fat. Have
Okay.
some self-control.
He still looks like the Democrat Chris Christie to me. Like it's just the other side of the coin.
Nah, dude, Pritzker's the way to go. Pritzker and Bashir, way to go.
I want neither of those guys.
What's wrong with Bashir?
Bashir comes from political royalty in Kentucky.
But
his dad was governor.
His dad was governor.
It's a family business to that guy.
Hell yeah.
If you're voting for a fat guy, it just shows that he has no self-control. And then if you give him all the power or a lot of power, you think he'll have self-control with the power?
What, you think he's just gonna hit the nuke button?
You went to the extreme. I'm just saying, like, no, but I'm just saying, is if somebody has no self-control on an impulse and then you give him power, do you think he'll have self-control? No.
But couldn't you also make the argument like, hey man, like he's so invested in you, he doesn't have time to invest in himself?
That's what I was trying to say.
That's terrible.
That's what I was trying to say.
He's so fat because he takes care of you.
He's so fat because he's working all the time, dude. It's tough to really get healthy when you're working all the time for the people.
He's trying to keep them poor kids skinny, so he eats all their calories.
Yeah, he doesn't have time to go to the gym or anything. He's too busy trying to lead Illinois into a golden age.
He's trying so hard not to be Rod Blagojevich.
I mean, who really does, right? Who wants Trump supporter, by the way.
Oh my God.
Is he really?
Trump pardoned him. So yeah.
He switched sides? He's all about Trump now?
Yeah, he endorsed Trump since Trump, pardoned him.
I literally couldn't give a shit about Rod Blagojevich.
I mean, it was a very funny time when it was happening.
It was. And he has a really funny name.
He does. Rod Blagojevich.
You know what? He's probably so inconsequential. We should get him on the podcast.
He might join in.
He might actually join in, and
there's a couple like him and the former Illinois senator Joe Walsh will probably join in too.
Didn't
Joe
he
Walsh
get caught
whatever
Lincoln Project dude? Yeah,
wasn't he embezzling money too?
I mean, I would doubt it. I met him once, actually.
Yeah,
I met him once.
He did America's Most Wanted, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait,
oh.
Did he?
Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah, he's the one who created America's Most Wanted.
Oh, good for him.
And he was a super pro-Trumper and then became super anti-Trump.
That did happen, yes.
Probably had a bad experience.
Joe Walsh.
Yeah, he's a Tea Party Republican.
We're going to make our own party when we run.
Yeah, everyone says that.
Yeah, and our party's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, these people I know how to talk to dumb people.
I mean, the two parties are going to do everything they can to knock you down, man. Everything.
And I will destroy them.
We need to go into a fringe party and just take it over. How about the Greens?
Destroy them. No, we have to come up with our own party and our own political system.
Might as well take over someone that's already on the ballot.
No.
Why?
No, because we have to come up with our own party.
I think you just want to own a party.
No, it's because both parties are stupid and it divides people. We live in divided states of America.
I mean, going third party is definitely a risk if you want to win.
It's
huge risk. I don't see the energy of Ross Perot over here.
I'm telling you, this is our slogan. Let's unite the divided states of America.
I feel like there's already 800 little parties trying to say that right now.
But you know what? Our party's gonna succeed.
Mm.
Hey, if you don't want to be a
way.
Here's the real problem. Like, look at RFK, who's running as an independent. He has over 10% poll, and he still can't get into the debates.
Yeah, and he has name recognition.
So controlled. Yeah.
But you know what though?
And he's a Kennedy, dude.
He's a Kennedy.
You're nobody.
But times are different, right? So even though he can't,
they're not.
Because we're not that different, dude. We're still voting for D or R.
Listen. Even though he can't get in a debate, he can still make a 3-hour YouTube channel on the same debate questions. Listen, look how overrated.
And people were just making fun of him for it, though.
Dude. Nah, dude. Look how
I didn't even watch it.
Look how overrated debates are.
Funny.
Overrated debates are. You only get 1 or 2 minutes to answer like a hard pressed question.
You say that they're overrated, but that's what caused Joe Biden to drop out.
Indeed.
Not by they caused him to drop out because that was the first time that he went in public in like a long
No,
time.
no. So then it is consequential at the end of the day.
Because he'd still be running if that debate didn't happen.
Well, I mean, like, bro.
Come on, dude. You can't have it both ways.
Dude, you need to like go into a party. You need to go into an already established party and take it over. That's what pretty much the Tea Party did. That's what Trump later did. That's what the
100% what Trump did.
Yep.
100%.
You need to go into a party and take it over.
Trump redefined what it meant to be a Republican.
Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, no, we have to make our own party and start from the ground. I'm telling you, this world is evolving, and soon this old world, this old Democrat Republican system is going to fall away. You got to see the future.
I mean,
you got to be a visionary.
How about this? You start to infiltrate. And when this world starts turning and it looks like that way, that's when you break off. You take people with you.
No, because
I think you're right, though. I think in about 15 years, it's going to be the Republicrats. There's going to be one party, and you only got one choice, brother.
Republicrats, baby. The Democratic Republicans, man. Let's bring it back. Like, that used to be fucking Jefferson's party.
It used to be, like we used to have a lot of parties, and then they slowly got funneled out and pushed to the sidelines because they're like, hey, I'm going towards the power. Like, power attracts, you know what I mean? It doesn't repel. So that's how we ended up with two parties.
Yep.
What happened to the Whig Party?
Yep. Democratic Republicans, the Federalists,
the Bull Moose Party.
The Bull Moose Party barely got started.
Hey, it still got started by a former president.
He didn't win, though.
He did win because he was a president.
Not as a bull moose.
I think
doesn't matter.
I think the next, not this election, but the next election, with the amount of influencers getting to a certain age, with the amount of the internet going to be
the TikTok party, baby. Let's go.
I just think
the Logan Paul party.
You have, because everything is so traditional, and we live in a new world where traditional is getting wiped out.
All right, man. Like, start.
That's what I'm trying to say, and you're like, no, infiltrate.
Well, I'm just saying that's the best way to do it, because like a lot of people want
not anymore.
You say that, but like when you say not anymore, when's this not anymore happening?
I think this will be the last election where it's gonna be like the traditional way. I think people are gonna.
I think you're wrong. I think there's a lot of people who think they're like smarter than everybody else, who think it's over, but they've been saying that for a decade, and it's not over, because at the end of the day, people go to one side or the other. They go with what they know, and that is what it is.
That's true.
Until threaten to vote for a third party more than they actually do.
Until a charismatic leader comes up to him and be like, enough is enough.
And that's what happened with Donald Trump.
And that's what people want, right? And then Donald Trump.
No, here's my argument against you. How many times did Donald Trump run for president?
A lot.
Yeah. And then when did he actually become serious? When he became a Republican.
Yeah. Because then
I'm just saying.
He did run for a Democrat, right? As a Democrat.
I don't think he ever ran as a Democrat. I think he ran as a Libertarian, as a Green Party. He ran as like a couple different like smaller parties. It wasn't until he entered the Republican like nomination process that he actually was taken any serious, like, and with any seriousness. And that's how he won.
Yeah.
He because you have no money as a third party candidate.
You have no money, and not to mention, if you win, you're kneecapped. Look at Jesse Ventura when he won in Minnesota. You still have to like reach above. You still have to get support from the Democratic Republicans, even if you win, or you're going to get nothing done.
If anything, you got to build the organization first and then become the candidate.
That's the party, right?
And that's the hard part. That's the legwork.
But it's got to be done.
One state, win a couple small local elections, maybe get up to a House or Senate election, expand to another state. Like, it's going to take you a long time.
within the next 4 years.
And then everyone's
It's a
going to
long
fight
time.
you to keep you off the ballot. You're going to get sued
Everybody's gonna-
1,000 ways to Sunday.
Bro, if you're doing something right, they're going to set up obstacles.
Yeah, but those obstacles usually win.
They haven't gone against me.
Okay. That's all the
They
time
haven't
we
gone
have
against
left.
us.
Thank you for watching Back Society. This is Jay signing off.
Zest, vote for S.
Vote for S or vote for C. He's running as well.
I can't hear
He's
you.
muted. Still can't hear
Yeah.
him.
You're muted.
You're
I
muted.
can read your lips. His mic broke.
This
His mic
is
hear me now?
exploded.
there we go. Don't be
You hear
like,
me
you
now?
know, DeSantis when he announced his running.
I was gonna say vote for me because I'm actually electable.
There you
know?
go.
Like I'm legally allowed
Mute
to
his,
run for president.
mute his mic.
Mute his
Mute
mic.
Don't
his
even
mic.
no. You know what I'm at? I am way more level headed. I understand the process. I will vote and run for you.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, now he
okay.
wants to say something else.
Now I want to say something.
He wants to say something else.
Vote for the legacy. Don't do it just for me. Do it for yourself.
What legacy? You have no
What does
legacy.
that have to do with legacy? Vote for somebody who understands what words means. I'm right here.
Let's vote. No, hold on. What was my slogan is let's unite the divided states of America.
I'm pretty sure
Let's all
the
come
Democrats are running on
together.
unity right now. Anyway, thank you for watching.
The mentality. Let's keep everybody in a little bubble. and
Peace.
fight.
Peace.
Peace.